I'm alive, but I don't feel like it. I'm a winner, but it doesn't feel like I won.
Yo, the big guy Ryback here. Word making the rounds from the streets of Chicago is that CM Punk is heavily contemplating retiring once and for all. And nothing official has been said yet, but the word going around is that that is very, very likely going to be the scenario. So I just want to be the first one to say, Phil, CM Punk, thank you.
In a shocking turn of events, Triple H has made a heart-stopping announcement. CM Punk, one of the most controversial figures in wrestling history, has officially retired. This comes after an intense and brutal encounter with Drew McIntyre. News sent waves of shock through the wrestling world. No one anticipated that CM Punk, the best in the world, would walk away from the ring. He had years of defiance, comebacks, and iconic moments. This moment became even more astounding after his clash with Drew McIntyre. Triple H, known for his no-nonsense approach, addressed the packed WWE arena. His face was somber as he made the announcement. "This isn't easy for me to say, but CM Punk has retired from in-ring competition," Triple H said. WWE Universe erupted into gasps, boos, and shock. CM Punk, who once walked away from WWE in a controversial exit, had returned with much fanfare. But now, he was stepping away for good. The timing and circumstances surrounding his retirement added fuel to the speculation. Was this Punk's decision, or did Drew McIntyre's brutality force his hand? To understand the gravity of CM Punk's retirement, we must look at his match with McIntyre. This was not just a match, it was a battle of two warriors. CM Punk had reignited his career, reminding the world why he was the best in the world. But Drew McIntyre, one of WWE's most dominant forces, stood in his way. The intensity of the match was palpable from the start. Punk faced a version of Drew McIntyre no one had seen before. Drew was brutal and relentless, determined to make a statement. That statement came when Drew unleashed a vicious onslaught on Punk. The WWE Universe watched in shock as Drew delivered claymore after claymore. Punk, always a fighter, refused to stay down, but the punishment was too much. Drew's final blow, a crushing claymore to Punk's jaw, sealed the match and his career. As Punk lay motionless in the ring, the WWE Universe felt the weight of the moment. This wasn't just another loss for CM Punk. It felt like the end of an era. Triple H, with his long history with Punk, didn't soften the gravity of the situation. He explained that the match had taken on Punk. Punk has had one of the most grueling careers in WWE history, Triple H said. After the match with Drew McIntyre, Punk decided to call it a career. He has done everything there is to do in this business, and now he's stepping away. The WWE Universe erupted with chants of "Thank you, Punk," as the realization sank in. CM Punk had laced up his boots for the last time. Triple H's words were more than just an announcement. They were a eulogy for Punk's career. For years, CM Punk had been the voice of the voiceless. He broke barriers and changed how fans saw WWE. His infamous pipe bomb promo is still revolutionary. After years of fighting against the establishment, Punk's time came to an end. It wasn't expected, but it felt fitting for him. Punk always did things on his own terms. With Punk's retirement now official, fans wonder about WWE's future. Punk was more than a superstar, he was a movement. His return to WWE reignited fan passion. His matches were among the most anticipated on any card. With Punk gone, there's a massive void to fill. Triple H recognized the impact of Punk's departure. Punk was one of a kind, Triple H said, his voice steady but emotional. There will never be another CM Punk. He did things his way and earned the respect of everyone in the locker room. That includes every single one of you here tonight. Even as fans process Punk's retirement, the question remains, what's next for WWE? Drew McIntyre ended Punk's career and is now more dangerous than ever. Drew's victory wasn't just a win, it was a statement. With Punk gone, Drew's path to the top is clearer than ever. For Punk, retirement may not mean leaving wrestling entirely. Triple H confirmed that Punk is stepping away from in-ring competition. However, there's a chance Punk could take on a different role. He might be involved behind the scenes or as a commentator. Punk's passion for this business runs deep, Triple H said. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again in some capacity. As the dust settles on Punk's shocking retirement, his legacy is undeniable. Punk's career wasn't just about wins and losses, it was about changing the game. From Ring of Honor to his WWE run, Punk has always been a trailblazer. He did things his way and refused to conform to business norms. His 2011 pipe bomb promo remains one of wrestling's most important moments. In that promo, Punk didn't just break the fourth wall, he shattered it. He spoke truths that many were afraid to say out loud. In doing so, he became a symbol of rebellion, a voice for the unheard fans. That moment changed everything. For years, CM Punk had been the voice of the voiceless. He broke barriers and changed how fans saw WWE. His infamous pipe bomb promo is still revolutionary. After years of fighting against the establishment, Punk's time came to an end. It wasn't expected, but it felt fitting for him. Punk always did things on his own terms. With Punk's retirement now official, fans wonder about WWE's future. Punk was more than a superstar, he was a movement. His return to WWE reignited fan passion. His matches were among the most anticipated on any card. With Punk gone, there's a massive void to fill. Triple H recognized the impact of Punk's departure. Punk was one of a kind, Triple H said, his voice steady but emotional. There will never be another CM Punk. He did things his way and earned the respect of everyone in the locker room. That includes every single one of you here tonight. Even as fans processed Punk's retirement, the question remains, what's next for WWE? Drew McIntyre ended Punk's career and is now more dangerous than ever. Drew's victory wasn't just a win, it was a statement. With Punk gone, Drew's path to the top is clearer than ever. For Punk, retirement may not mean leaving wrestling entirely. Triple H confirmed that Punk is stepping away from in-ring competition. However, there's a chance Punk could take on a different role. He might be involved behind the scenes or as a commentator. Punk's passion for this business runs deep, Triple H said. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again in some capacity. As the dust settles on Punk's shocking retirement, his legacy is undeniable. Punk's career wasn't just about wins and losses, it was about changing the game. From Ring of Honor to his WWE run, Punk has always been a trailblazer. He did things his way and refused to conform to business norms. His 2011 pipe bomb promo remains one of wrestling's most important moments. In that promo, Punk didn't just break the fourth wall, he shattered it. He spoke truths that many were afraid to say out loud. In doing so, he became a symbol of rebellion, a voice for the unheard fans. That moment changed everything. CM Punk, born Philip Jack Brooks on October 26, 1978, in Chicago, Illinois, is a name synonymous with rebellion, passion, and an unrelenting desire to change the wrestling world. From his humble beginnings in the independent circuit to his meteoric rise in WWE, CM Punk's journey is one of the most captivating in professional wrestling history. His legacy transcends wins and losses. It's about a man who broke barriers, challenged the status quo, and became a voice for millions of wrestling fans who felt unheard. He was drawn to the larger-than-life characters, the intense action, and the emotional storytelling that wrestling offered. However, unlike many other aspiring wrestlers, Punk's journey to the top wasn't fueled by dreams of fame and fortune. Instead, he was motivated by a deep-rooted desire to be different. From a young age, Punk saw himself as an outsider, someone who didn't fit into the conventional mold, and this mentality shaped his entire career. Raised in a challenging environment, he dealt with issues such as family conflicts and substance abuse around him, but he stayed clear of alcohol and drugs, eventually adopting the straight-edge lifestyle that would become a core part of his identity. The straight edge philosophy, which promotes abstinence from drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, was something Punk embraced fully, and it became a key element of his wrestling persona later on. It was here that Punk honed his craft and developed the technical wrestling skills and persona that would make him a star. He wrestled for several smaller promotions, but it wasn't until he joined Ring of Honor Raw in 2000 that he began to gain significant attention. A promotion known for its focus on technical wrestling and long-term storytelling was the perfect platform for Punk to showcase his abilities. He gained a reputation for his intense promos, in-ring psychology, and a wrestling style that blended technical prowess with a gritty, hard-hitting approach. Their series of matches, including a 60-minute draw at ROH's Joe vs. Punk 2, earned widespread acclaim and helped elevate both men to new heights in the wrestling world. Punk's time in Raw wasn't just about memorable matches, though it was where he first became known as a wrestling revolutionary. This move, later referred to as the Summer of Punk, saw Punk teasing the idea that he would leave Raw with the title, creating one of the most intriguing storylines in independent wrestling history. Although Punk eventually lost the Raw title, this angle solidified his status as a wrestling mastermind who could blur the lines between reality and fiction. When CM Punk joined WWE's developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling OVW, in 2005, there were doubts about whether someone as outspoken and unconventional as Punk would succeed in WWE's corporate environment. But Punk quickly proved his critics wrong. His early days in WWE's ECW brand were a testing ground for the straight-edge superstar, as he battled established stars like John Morrison and Elijah Burke. Punk's popularity grew steadily, and he won the ECW championship in 2007, marking his first major title in WWE. By 2008, Punk had captured the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 24, giving him the opportunity to cash in for a world title shot at any time. Punk used this opportunity to defeat Edge and win the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw in June 2008, solidifying his status as a main event player. He became a multiple-time world champion, winning the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times and the WWE Championship twice. His in-ring performances were stellar, and his feuds with the likes of John Cena, The Undertaker, and Jeff Hardy showcased his ability to tell compelling stories inside the ring. This feud wasn't just about wrestling, it was a battle of lifestyles. Punk, the straight-edge champion, condemned Hardy's real-life issues with substance abuse, and this angle blurred the lines between fiction and reality, making their matches all the more intense. The rivalry culminated in a tables, ladders, and chairs TLC match at SummerSlam 2009, where Punk won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and sent Hardy packing from WWE. Whether they loved him or hated him, people couldn't ignore Punk's ability to back up his words with his performances in the ring. At the time, Punk was frustrated with his position in WWE. He felt underappreciated and overlooked despite his undeniable talent and popularity. In the lead-up to Money in the Bank 2011, where Punk was set to challenge John Cena for the WWE Championship, Punk sat down at the top of the entrance ramp on Monday Night Raw and delivered a promo that shook the wrestling world to its core. He criticized the company for favoring stars like John Cena and The Rock while ignoring talented wrestlers like himself. Punk also threatened to leave WWE with the championship if he won at Money in the Bank, setting up a must-see match between him and Cena. Punk voiced the frustrations of fans who felt alienated by WWE's focus on corporate interests over pure wrestling. Punk's words resonated with millions of viewers, and his popularity skyrocketed as a result. The pipe bomb promo is now considered one of the greatest promos in wrestling history, and it changed the course of Punk's career. After the match, Punk left the arena with the championship, symbolizing his rejection of WWE's corporate structure. Although Punk eventually returned to WWE and continued to feud with Cena, his pipe bomb promo had already left an indelible mark on the wrestling world. During this reign, Punk solidified his place as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He defended the championship against a wide range of opponents, including Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback, showcasing his versatility and in-ring skill. Punk's loss to The Rock was controversial among fans, many of whom felt that Punk should have retained the title, given his hard work and dedication throughout his reign. However, the match between Rock and Cena was said to be a marquee attraction for WWE, and Punk's loss ultimately paved the way for the rematch between Rock and Cena at WrestleMania. He feuded with The Undertaker in the lead-up to WrestleMania 29, culminating in a match that many fans consider to be one of the highlights of the event. While Punk ultimately lost to The Undertaker, the match solidified his reputation as a performer who could deliver on the biggest stage. By 2014, CM Punk's relationship with WWE had become strained. Despite his success, Punk was unhappy with the creative direction of his character and the overall state of WWE's booking. He felt that WWE wasn't utilizing him to his full potential and that the company's focus on part-time stars like The Rock and Brock Lesnar was overshadowing full-time wrestlers who worked hard year-round. Frustrated with WWE's creative decisions and the physical toll wrestling had taken on his body, Punk decided to walk away from WWE. He didn't appear on WWE television after the Royal Rumble, and in July 2014, WWE officially announced that Punk had left the company. Fans were shocked and saddened to see one of their favorite wrestlers walk away at the height of his career. However, Punk remained adamant that leaving WWE was the right decision for him, both professionally and personally. In interviews after his departure, Punk spoke candidly about his frustrations with WWE and his desire to pursue other opportunities outside of wrestling. Despite having no professional MMA experience, Punk was determined to succeed in the sport and began training with the renowned Roufusport team. His debut fight took place at UFC 203 in September 2016, where he faced Mickey Gall. Unfortunately, Punk lost the fight via submission in the first round. He returned to the octagon for a second fight at UFC 225 in 2018, but again, he was defeated, this time by Mike Jackson. Punk later acknowledged that he had no regrets about his decision to try MMA, saying that he wanted to push himself and test his abilities in a new arena. He appeared in several independent films and wrote for Marvel Comics, contributing to titles like Drax the Destroyer and The Master of Kung Fu. Punk's post-WWE career has been a reflection of his diverse interests and his desire to create art in various forms. Punk's debut in AEW was highly anticipated, and his return promo on AEW Rampage was met with thunderous applause from the Chicago crowd. Punk's return was a full-circle moment for his career. He had come back to wrestling on his own terms, with a promotion that prioritized creative freedom that allowed him to be himself. His performances were widely praised, and his return to wrestling reignited interest in the sport. However, Punk's AEW run wasn't without its controversies, as backstage tensions and injuries plagued his later years. Punk's decision to step away from wrestling marked the end of an era, but it also cemented his legacy as one of the most influential and beloved figures in the history of the sport. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a revolutionary. His pipe bomb promo changed the way fans viewed WWE and the wrestling industry as a whole. Punk's straight-edge lifestyle, his willingness to speak out against authority, and his connection with the fans made him a unique and irreplaceable figure in wrestling. He wasn't afraid to challenge the norms of the business or to speak his mind, even if it meant walking away from WWE at the height of his career. For fans who felt disillusioned with the corporate nature of wrestling, Punk was a hero, someone who represented the voice of the people. He changed the game, and his influence will be felt for generations to come.